What's up, sneaker community? Welcome to 2025, and this is the regular guy Sneakerhead with the first episode of the year of Sneaker Talk. And the first topic I want to speak on is the Air Jordan 12 flu game, which is going to be releasing in a couple months now. And we have a first look at an actual pair of the Air Jordan 12 flu game from XC Sneaker on Instagram. And just from this one picture, I mean, it pretty much looks just like the 2016 pair. Now, the reason why I chose to speak on this shoe wasn't because of the first look. It's because I was thinking about it, and I myself would have preferred for them to give us the 2009 version of the flu game. Now, if you're not familiar with the 2009 version of the flu game, it's a pair that instead of having the black leather upper, has a nubuck upper, and then it has some extra features on it that go along with the whole flu game theme. If you don't know, the reason why these are called the flu game is because during the NBA Finals, Michael Jordan played in these sneakers while he had the flu. I mean, the bad flu. He was doing bad, and he still came out there and put up like 38 points. And so in 2009, they released the Air Jordan 12 flu game to commemorate that moment. And on the shoe, instead of it having the TWO3 on the tongue like the original black and red Jordan 12s do, it has uh, either, I think it's 97, and then it has a circle that looks kind of like a sick face, and below that, 38 for the 38 points. And it's also got the same little logo on the back part of the outside of the shoe. And this is all, like I said, just to commemorate the fact that that man played in the championship game with the flu and still put up 38 points and still led the Bulls to a victory. And I feel like, man, we only got that release once in 2009, and that's been it. Every other release has been the regular flu game. And I just feel like since we just got the regular flu game in 2016, it would have been nice to get a re-release of the 2009 flu game. I mean, they could have even went as far as to make it a reimagined flu game and just brought that one back out. Who else agrees with me? Who else would have loved to have seen the 2009 release retro this year instead of just getting another of the original version? And I'm not knocking the original version. I don't have a pair. I had the pair when they came out in the 90s, but I don't have a Bread or Flu Game 12 in my collection now. So I'm looking forward to grabbing them. But I still would have rather them brought back out the 2009 pair. What are your thoughts on that situation? Would you have rather seen the 2009 pair come back? Or are you okay with the OG? Are you an OG purist? Are you okay with that coming back? Let's talk about it in the comments. Jordan Brand has released what they're calling a Sneakerhead's Essential Travel Companion with the Jordan Brand Collector's Duffel Bag. Crafted with durable, water-resistant Cordura fabric, this duffel bag will make sure your sneakers stay safe from travel wear and tear. With 4 dedicated compartments keeping your shoes neatly organized, it also features an additional packing cube and some other pockets for other travel essentials. It comes with a 5-inch handle drop and a 51-inch shoulder strap. This duffel bag is available in a sleek black color as well as a RKO brown color. They are priced at $160 and can be found right now on Nike.com. Let me know what you think about these Jordan duffel travel bags. Now, I know these are similar to the Soul Premise bags, and them Soul Premise bags are nice, man. They use quality materials, and they've got some bags that actually carry more than just 4 pairs. So, I mean, if you want to take a lot of pairs with you and you do a lot of traveling, there's something nice to have. But for me being a Jordan Brand collector, all I collect is Jordans. I like other sneakers, but I just only collect Jordans. So for me being a Jordan collector, it would be kind of nice to have an actual Jordan brand bag with a Jumpman on it to carry my sneakers whenever I travel. Let me know your thoughts on this. Do you like these? Would you be looking forward to copping one of these for your travel needs, or would you rather have the Soul Premise bags? Let me know in the comments. So, if you've been a Jordan collector or Jordan fan for quite some time, such as myself, then I'm sure you remember the Slam Dunk pack, or maybe more specifically, the Air Jordan 6 Slam Dunk that came out in 2014. Now, it was a pack originally that came, they had the Jordan 6 Slam Dunk, and then they had a Jordan Superfly 3, I believe, Slam Dunk. They had a jersey, a t-shirt, and a hat. And what it was is Slam Dunk is a manga or comic book from Japan, and it's huge over there. And what it is, it's about basketball, and the characters in it wear Air Jordans, and so it's big in basketball and Jordan culture over there in Japan. And in 2014, they decided to combine that with actual Jordans and release it to kind of get the brand out further than Japan, to kind of bring it to America and other places where Jordan and basketball was popular. And so they put that pack out in 2014. And the Jordan 6, as you can see in these pictures, it featured some of the scenes from the manga on the shoe. When the light hits it, you can see it. And then also the bottom of the box for the sixes had scenes from the comic on it as well. And so what most people don't know is that in 2009, Slam Dunk was working with Jordan Brand on bringing out a shoe all the way back then to try to further the reach of their brand. For whatever reason, that shoe ended up getting canceled and shelved, and for over 2 decades didn't see the light of day until recently it surfaced, and we have some pictures of it. It is the Air Jordan 23 Slam Dunk, and man, it is a beautiful shoe. I mean, even if you aren't a fan of the Jordan 23 silhouette, you've got to admit that this colorway and the work they put into this shoe, man, this pops. It features vibrant kanji embroidery that spells out the manga's creator's name over the side panel of the shoe in bright colors over a contrasting dark background, which gives it added depth. And then it also has a teal glazed coat over the midsole to give the perfect contrast for that dark upper. It also features graphic accents on the forefront that reflect the manga's artistry. And the artwork on the insoles is directly inspired by the manga as well. And the artwork on the insoles is directly inspired by the manga as well. Now, as you can see in these pictures, like I said, this is a beautiful shoe, man. They did their thing on this. I'm a fan of the 23, man. So I really like this, but I'm sure even if you're not a fan or didn't really like the 23, you're gonna love these, man. The color of these and the look to them, man. I mean, they're different. It's not something you see every day. It's a well put together, well crafted shoe, premium materials. Uh, I it's probably, if this ain't the only one, and then you can bet that it's very, very limited, only a couple pairs. So the likelihood of anybody without a big bank and knowing, having a good plug will be able to get their hands on them. But I mean, one can dream. Uh, what are your thoughts on this pair? If it was a pair that released, would you be looking forward to grabbing them? Let's talk about it in the comments. Who all remembers the Air Jordan Deconstructed line? Um, if you don't, a few years back, they came out with Air Jordan 2 Deconstructed and the Air Jordan 1 Deconstructed. and they had several, maybe like 5 or 6 different colorways of both the 1 and the 2. And what they wore is like a broke down basic version of the shoe. Uh, all one color, all one material, just simplified, basic as can be. Now, I personally didn't really like them. I don't own any. I don't see me owning any in the future. It just wasn't my thing. I'm not knocking anyone that does. You know, everyone has their own style and what they like. I like a lot of twos, and most people don't. So, hey, to each their own. I'm not knocking anyone. But me personally, it just wasn't my thing. I really didn't like them. I wasn't going to spend money on those when there's other pairs I'd rather have. But some pictures have came out recently of some samples of a white and black pair of Air Jordan 3 deconstructed that I guess got scrapped for whatever reason and didn't come out. And man, let me tell you, these are fire. Now, you can judge for yourself by looking at these pictures. I've only got one picture of each shoe, so can't really get a good look at them. But just from what I can see, based off these one pictures of each pair, these are fire, man. If they'd have put these out, these things would have sold. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts on this white and black Air Jordan 3 deconstructed samples. So I'm sure most of my fellow sneakerheads out here are familiar with Drake's time as Air Jordan endorsed artist, and more so familiar with the Air Jordan releases that he put out during that time. He had several pairs that released, and then quite a few memorable samples that were nice. But more specifically, what I'm talking about right now is his Air Jordan 8s, 10s, and 12s. Now, he put them out basically in like a set, and he had like a white pair with gold and a black pair with gold. So when he put out the 10s first, he came out with the white and the black. Then the 12s came out. He had the white and the black. And then later the 8s came out. And once again, he had the white and the black. And they both had gold on them and had the OVO branding and details and whatnot. Well, recently pictures have surfaced of another set, a Air Jordan 9 OVO set, both in white and black. And these are said to be a one of one. The individual I follow on Instagram posted them, and so I took screenshots because, for one, I had never seen them, and then for two, I wanted to make sure and speak on them and make sure that anybody who follows and watches my content gets a chance to see them, because it's a pretty dope sample to me. And some of these samples, man, just don't ever get seen. Uh, Myself, man, I wish Jordan Brand would release some of these sample pairs that are fire, that people like us, just regular guy sneakerheads, just can't get their hands on easily. But anyway, I mean, here's a look at the Jordan 9 OVO white and black samples. Let me know your thoughts on these in the comments. If these came out, would you be looking forward to copping a pair? Are you a fan of Drake's other OVO releases? I like a lot of them. I don't have any. I look forward to getting some someday. But as of right now, I don't have any. But do you? Let's talk about it. Now, this next two pairs of shoes I'm speaking about are not an upcoming pair. Uh, like some of the other pairs I've talked about recently. They're exclusive sample pairs or whatever you want to call it. This is the Air Jordan Mellow 2-pack, and they were given to Carmelo Anthony after he retired from the NBA from Jordan Brand, and it was as a gift, I guess, but also kind of begging him to stay, because if you lift the lid of the box and look at it real big, it says "Stay Mellow." So obviously they didn't want him to retire yet, but I'm sure he had his reasons. But they gave him a nice parting gift. Jordan Brand did. They gave him 2 pairs of the Jordan 2s, and I know these aren't everyone's favorite model of Air Jordan, but man, these pairs are nice. They gave him a Denver colorway, which actually released, and then they gave him a New York colorway, which never released. Now, the difference in these and the release pairs is, first of all, the materials are better. Second of all, they got like a quilted sock liner and different insoles, and then they have gold metal accents. Like the Wings logo is the gold metal, and on the back where the Nike is, it's gold metal, and even one of them says Mellow instead of Nike. And then they came in this 2-pack box, and on the inside of the box is like a collage of all different things that have to do with Carmelo and his life and his career. And it looks basically just like the laser print on the Jordans, but just this one's centered around Carmelo, and that's what's all over the inside of the box. And I mean, this 2-pack is beautiful. Even if you're not a Jordan 2 fan, I know you love these just by seeing them. It's not going to release to the public, and it's probably not likely that it's going to be easy to get a pair if you could afford it. I don't know if there's any pairs other than this one set made for Melo, but I felt like these were a set of pairs that needed to be appreciated and needed to be shown to the public. So there you have it, the Air Jordan 2 Melo Retirement Pack. I guess that's what I'm calling it. I don't know what the actual name for it was, but let me know your thoughts on these 2 pairs of Air Jordan 2s in the comments. Now, last year in a couple of my videos, I spoke about the upcoming Air Jordan Chinese New Year Year of the Snake Pack that's going to be releasing this month. And I spoke about the low top 11s, the low top 1s, and 5s. And there are some other pairs releasing. I made mention of those, so I won't touch on those in this video. But what I do want to do is give you all some updated looks at first the Air Jordan 5 Chinese New Year, Year of the Snake. And before, all I had was just 2 pictures of the side of the shoe. And I said that I didn't see anything that had that snakeskin look like the other shoes in this package. But I was wrong, because now I have some pictures of the tongue, and the tongue has that same ballistic mesh on it that's supposed to look like the snakeskin. And I actually like this little touch to the Jordan 5. Now, these are a women's exclusive. So a lot of people, if you can't fit a men's 10.5, which is a women's 12, you might not be able to get these unless they do happen to release an extended sizing. I haven't heard that they are, but that doesn't mean they won't. I myself can fit a women's 12, so this is a pair I'd like to have. And as you can see from the looks, I mean, they're not a bad pair. I like the subtleness of the snake instead of going all out with it. I feel like if they'd have went too much with it, it would have killed it. This ain't bad. And then I also have for you some more looks at the Air Jordan 11 Low Chinese New Year, Year of the Snake, as well as the packaging. And it comes in this rainbow iridescent looking box that kind of looks like the shark teeth on the Jordan 5 in this line. And as you can see, uh, it's got the ballistic mesh instead of patent leather all around the toe box and the uppers of it. And it kind of looks like snakeskin. It's decent. I mean, we've had other Jordan 11 snakeskin releases. So for them to do a Year of the Snake and make it differently than the other snakeskin releases is a big thing to me. I mean, they could have just gave us another one and made it gray. Instead, they did something different, and I appreciate and respect that. Currently, There's pairs of the Air Jordan 11 Low on GOAT and eBay for sale. I seen an 11 and a half on GOAT for 280. An 11 was about 300. And then they were around the same price range on eBay in the same size range. Uh, the 11s are reported to be releasing on the 29th. Still haven't heard a confirmed release date on the 5s yet, but you can expect them to be releasing around the same time as the rest of the pack. If we don't see them towards the end of January, you can guarantee beginning of February we'll be getting them. Let me know your thoughts on the Air Jordan 5 and Air Jordan 11 Low Chinese New Year of the Snake Pack. That's the end of my first episode of Sneaker Talk for 2025. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button, and if you haven't, make sure you follow and subscribe. Most importantly, make sure you stay tuned.